Steering wheel does not doing anything. Shifter does not doing anything. Gas pedal is not doing anything. Has seat belts for kids. On back, under the license plate, is the charging port. And you turn on each switch. Left is front battery, right's rear battery. So you can charge each battery individually, or you can charge them both at the same time. Has a flag mount, so you can put a flag on it for parades or anything. .410, 354. These are 4-ply Kenda racing slicks. And back is a 1-inch solid axle. You see the 160mm disc brake, 2-piston caliper. Tip it on its side here. Full aluminum frame with 3/4 inch square tubing for reinforcement. Whole steering components are 1-inch square tubing, all powder coated so they will not rust. The 1-inch solid axle, 48-volt brushless motor. Up there's the second battery behind the seat, all wiring enclosed. Number 35 racing chain. The display plugged in here. Alright. I got it just set up here. Under the dash there are 2 breakers. So left side is for front battery, right side is for rear battery. So you could run one battery at a time, run one battery until it's dead and then switch over to the other battery, or you could run both at the same time. It doesn't affect it either way. We'll turn both on. 58.08. 58.8 is fully charged, not drawing any power. Plenty of energy. 1,669 watt-hours of energy. Grab my controller with my makeshift camera mount. Turn it on here. Turn on power. Red button turns on RC side. So you can run steering. You can test your throttle. You can test your brakes. Second one is for speed controller for motor. Third one is headlights, taillights, and license plate lights. Headlights are really bright, so are taillights. And there's a resistor in that light to dim it down so it's not super bright on the license plate. Currently set up running only 50 amps to the motor. Has reverse, forward, self-centering steering. Shut everything off. The heads-up display can be unplugged if you don't want it in there. Open up the hood here. There are hood pins holding the hood on. Hood on the side here. The hood spring loaded, so it pops up when you pull the pins out. Servo runs throttle and braking. Has electronic braking also, which will turn the motor into an alternator and charge the batteries when you hit the brakes. Each battery pack is handmade, lithium ion. Each battery has its own controller, which they are preset to 45 amps max, 58.8 volts, and it keeps from over discharging and shuts off at 42 volts. Power distribution for 12 volts. Relays to turn everything on and off. And there's a controller for steering. You can adjust the steering endpoints left and right, how fast it turns. The power can be turned down on this. Gears can be changed, brakes can be changed. Everything's very easily changeable parts. Servo running the reverse switch. You got 58.8 volts running to your speed controller. You've got 12 volts running to your steering, and you've got 6 volts running to RC side. Like I said earlier, you can adjust the speed of how fast your tires turn, turning left or right. You can adjust the endpoints of how far it turns left, how far it turns right. The throttle can be adjusted by controller, so you could turn down and only go to a certain percentage, so you can go really slow. Or you could plug the laptop into it and turn down power that way. I've always done by controller. So when kids riding it, also you can lower the amperage, which gives you torque out of an electric motor. Or if you change it this way, by your servo endpoints in the controller, that lowers your motor RPMs, but still gives you the torque and power you need. The 160mm disc brake with the 2-piston caliper has plenty of braking power. On its own, it can lock up the rear tire with me sitting in it. I ride in this thing. It's geared to do about 18-19 miles an hour right now because I just got done with the parade Saturday. I can gear up and go over 30 miles an hour. I've never gone over 30 miles an hour because it tends to get a little scary at that fast. Being this low and you're controlling by the controller, so your hands are only on the controller and not holding on. It is super low. I have yet to even get this thing close to tipping while whipping donuts and grass and everything.